But rest assured in knowing that this centurion, as we also are, was able to say, you know what, I need something from God. Do we have any people in here that are truly needing God to do something? Now, if you got everything together, don't you raise your hand, because I want to see the wings that are sitting behind you. But if you truly need something from God, it doesn't matter, Brother Keith, that the person next to you may not need what you need from God. It may not matter that they got their act all together and they want to sit there and act all bougie and act like they ain't ever had to go through nothing. But you keep on living a little while, you'll find out truly how much you really need God. It says that this centurion goes and runs into the presence of God. And it's something, people of God, that when the opportunity arises to get into the presence of God, I don't know about you, but I know me, Mother Wofford, that when I really need something from God, I don't care if I got to go through this, that, and the third. Because I know when I was in the street, if I was trying to get into the club, wasn't nobody blocking me from getting in the door. I don't care if it was standing room only, but I made sure I got in because it was the place to be. But now that I'm on this side of it, I need to understand that what I need from God, there is nobody that is going to keep me separated. For Paul said it this way. He said, I'll let nothing separate me from the love of God. Have you ever been loved to the point that you don't want to be separated from it? Has he ever whispered in your ear when all hell was breaking on around you and just told you that everything is going to be all right? Have you ever had him just sit on the edge of your bed when your body was racked in pain and just let you know that the healing is on the way? Has he ever told you that when the shutoff notices showed up at the house, that every bill shall be paid? I'm talking to some people that ever have come into the presence of the true and living God, not the fleshly child trying to get into it, because flesh can't glory in his presence, but the people that are truly hungering and thirsting after the living God. It says that this centurion, verse 5, I'm in verse 5 of chapter 8, it says that when Jesus had entered Capernaum, a centurion came to him, pleading with him, Lord, my servant is lying at home paralyzed. How many of you got some situations that are paralyzing you now? Oh, yeah. If the truth be told, every bill ain't paid. If the truth be told, the car is not running the way that it's supposed to. If the truth be told, the family ain't acting the way that it's supposed to be. It sounds good. It may look like it's going on that way. But if the truth be told, I got some situations that are restricting my movement. And when I got my movement restricted, I got to have a place to run to. And it says that he said, Lord, my servant is lying at home paralyzed, dreadfully tormented. It's something that this brings me to my first point, that I got to acknowledge what's wrong. When I'm in a situation and I'm in a circumstance, I got to be not ashamed to say what I'm dealing with is wrong. If it's alcoholism, admit, Lord, I'm having a problem with alcohol. If it's fornication, Lord, I'm having a problem with fornication. God, if it's about me obeying my spouse or being submissive to my spouse, Lord, I'm having a problem. Because here's the thing. If you don't acknowledge where you're at, you'll never know where you're going. He says to God, he says to Jesus, that I am tormented because my servant at home is lying there paralyzed. Jesus then says to him, I will come and heal him. See, if your heart is right, if your situation, no matter if the things are going on around you may claim that may have you thinking that you don't have a right relationship with God, let me clear the air right here, people of God. Don't let people dictate your relationship with God. Oh, I need to say that again. Don't let people dictate your relationship with God, because they'll tell you you ain't saved. because you slipped up and had a drink. They'll tell you you ain't saved because you got out, you rolled out of the wrong bed. Or they'll tell you you ain't saved because you woke up with an attitude. They'll tell you you ain't saved if you didn't pay your tithe. But don't let them dictate what you and your relationship with God is. For the Bible declares, judge lest ye be judged. Help me, Holy Ghost. It then says, Jesus says, I will come and heal. He doesn't say that I'm sending somebody. He doesn't say that I'm going to send a person to come lay hands on you. See, sometimes it's good to lay hands. It's good to anoint people. But sometimes I just need Jesus. Ain't sometimes, let me retract my last statement. All the time. Every moment of every day, every waking moment, even when I'm sleeping, I need the Lord. I need him when I'm up. I need him when I'm down. I need him when I'm sideways. I need him when I'm twisted up. I need the Lord. I need him. I need him. I need him. And it's something that when he answers your prayer, he says that I will come and heal him. Then it says here in verse 8, he says, the centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that you should come under my roof. Which brings me to my next point. Acknowledge where you're at. This is the hard part that all of us got to face. For there's a scripture that says that we behold our face in the mirror and we walk away as if never knowing who that individual was. I know I'm in the book. I know I'm in the book. But it's something when you can look in your own life and say, God, this is just where I am. Ain't nobody going to talk back to me in here. God, yeah, I got a problem drinking. Yeah, God, it's me. Yeah, God, I got a problem smoking, and I got a problem being nice to my coworkers. I even got a problem with being nice to my own spouse. I got a problem being nice to my own kids. Ain't nobody going to talk back to me. I'm coming down your row here in a minute. I have a problem paying my tithes on time. I have a problem paying my bills on time. I have a problem doing the responsibilities that I need to in my house. See, the thing about it is when you really get real with God, God can get real with you. And I don't know about you, but I've wasted enough time not being real with God. And so right now in the midst of this situation, in the midst of my circumstances, I'm saying, God, this is where I am. Take me as I am. Work on me in the place that I am, God. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm definitely not where I used to be. But God, work on me in the place that I am. Put me back on the wheel in the place that I am. You are the potter. I am the clay. Just break me and do it where I am. And it's something that when you can come to that place, that it brings you to the next point. The second part of that verse. He says, but only speak a word, and my servant be healed. But this is why he says only speak a word. He says, for I am also a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this one, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes, and to my servant, do this, and he does it. Brings me to this point. That he understands and acknowledges the power that was given to him. Saints of God, you got to understand and acknowledge the power that you now possess. Oh, y'all ain't heard. Y'all act like y'all don't know. It's something that when you become a servant of the true and the living God, that no longer do you walk as a fleshly individual. You walk as an individual that is filled with the Spirit and the presence of God. But it's something, though, that even when I have all this power, even when I have all this authority, it's something that the centurion understood, that yes, I'm a person that's over these soldiers. Yes, I'm a person that has clout here. Yes, I got finances to do the things that I need to do. Yes, I got transportation to get me where I need to go. But only you, Jesus, can fix the situation that I'm facing right now. Yeah, I may have the money to pay the bills, but my house is tore up. Y'all ain't going to talk to me. My house may be in order, but my job is jacked up. But the fact of the matter is that no matter where I look, there's something wrong that only God can fix. You try to fix it on your own. You wonder why that every time you take 2 steps forward, you're taking 4 steps back, because you tried to fix it on your own. You try to be obedient to the things that God has called you to do. But the fact of the matter is you try to do it in your own flesh. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Yes, I receive it. It's something that when we try to do these things on our own, that we really realize how inadequate that we are. The centurion acknowledges and humbles himself and says, you know what? No matter how high and mighty I think that I am, I know who's higher than I. How many here truly know that I know that there's someone greater than me? I know there's someone stronger than me. I know there's someone mightier than me. I know there's someone more wiser than me. I know there's someone smarter than me. I know that there's someone quicker than me. I know that there's someone better than me. It may be the person on my left. It may be the person on my right. But I definitely know that it's God. And he says here, when Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to those who followed us, surely I say to you, I have not found such great faith, not even in Israel. Now notice that this centurion was not an Israelite. No. He was not one of the chosen people. This was an individual that came from outside of the camp of Israel. So that lets me know that just because I'm not born into it, the fact of the matter is I have the same opportunity that's made available to me. So I now look at this situation from a different standpoint, that when he told me only speak a word, back in the bottom of verse 8, I'm back in the bottom of verse 8 in chapter 8, it says, but only speak a word. This is what the centurion says to Jesus. This is what we need to begin to do, people of God. But only speak a word. Only look at my situation before I look at my situation, God. Only look at my bills, God, before I look at my bills, God. Only look at my children, God, before I look at my children, God. Show me what I need to do, God, and my servant will be healed. I don't know what your servant may be today. I don't know if your servant may be your family. Your servant may be your bills. Your servant may be your job. Your servant may be the issue and the thing that you're struggling with that's got you paralyzed. It may be alcoholism. It may be drug addiction. It may be fornication. It may be just trying to control your own emotions. But the fact of the matter is if you begin to just allow God to speak a word, not just any word, not just a word, because it's something that when people can tell you that everything's going to be all right. But it's something else when the Lord himself sits you down and say, you know what, baby, everything is going to be all right. It's something that when I plead and I cry and I get on my face before him, that I wake up and I feel so much better. Oh, am I talking to anybody in here? It's about him truly speaking a word. How many truly need God to speak a word in their situation? You don't have to slip your hand up, but if you truly do lift your hand up, I guarantee you he'll begin to speak that word of that situation and that circumstance. You may not see the answer right now. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. You may not see the answer right now. Because it even says here in the text, and I'm going to go there in a minute, but if you keep on saying, God, I know that you can do it. I don't doubt your capabilities, God. I don't doubt in knowing who you are, Jesus. I just need you to speak a word. My body's hurting, but speak a word. My finances are messed up, but speak a word. My child's locked up in jail, but just speak a word, God. Just speak a word, God. My marriage is on the rocks, but God, just speak a word. My grades are not holding up the part, but God, I just need you to speak a word. God, things are going wrong in the community, but just speak a word. God, things are going wrong in the church, but God, just speak a word. See, ain't nobody speaking nothing. But God, you must got all their things situated for them. But God, I need you to speak a word in my situation. I need you to speak a word over my children, God. I need you to speak a word over my home, God. I need you to speak a word over my community, God. I need you to speak a word over Newcastle, God. I need you to speak a word in Western Pennsylvania, God. I need you to speak a word, God, in Shenango Township, God. I need you to speak a word. I need you to speak a word to Tammy Bailey right now, God. Save her soul. I need you to speak a word, God, in my marriage, God. I need you to speak a word in my children, God. I need you to speak a word. Hey, Kadobosha. I need you to speak a word, God, in our government. I need you to speak a word, God, to our homeless people. I need you to speak a word to the rapist, God. I need you to speak a word to the homosexual, God. I need you to speak a word, God. Only you can turn it around, God. Only you can fix it, God. Only you can heal them, God. Only you, God. Only you, God. Only you, God, can bring back those members that once said in this church, speak a word, God. Yes, God, only you can speak a word in our jurisdiction. Only you can speak a word, God. Only you can speak a word that will cleanse out the bitterness in my heart, God. Only you, God, can speak a word that will cause me to rise up and be all that you've caused me to be. Yes, God, only you, God, only you, only you, only you. Come on, stand all over the room. Stand all over the room. Speak, Lord. I need some people that are truly needing God to turn some situations around, to give them some clear direction, to give them some answers. Just say, speak, Lord. Speak, Lord. Speak, Lord. Speak, Lord. To my unsaved loved ones, speak, Lord. To that one that's out there on crack cocaine, speak, Lord. To that drug addict that's in the alley right now that's getting ready to lose his mind, speak, Lord. To the one that's getting ready to think about committing suicide, God, speak right now, God, speak right now. For the one that's getting ready to try to commit murder, God, speak. Hey, Shandabas, hey, speak, Lord. Speak, Lord. Speak, Lord. For the one that wants to give up on their marriage, speak, Lord. For the one that wants to give up on their child, speak, Lord. Speak, Lord. For that one that wants to give up on ministry, speak.